special episode of the NASA 5E not podcast, Twitch stream, D&D's Anti-Strahd Alliance. This is a very special episode for one particular reason. It is our 100th live session.
Ooh.
No shit.
We're not dead.
I'm not as anti-Strahd as the rest of them.
It might be boring, not dead.
So,
for a special event, all our enemies will be played by Strahd today.
So last week we had a pretty short session. We didn't get a ton done, but we did have some. We brought Vershad up to speed. He got his in-town stuff done in Neverwinter during his 10-day off, where he was able to, clip some horsehairs and make a new disguise for himself and purchase a new identity. Then we also met a human rogue named Shadowspawn, who was being chased by a couple of the wolf-like monstrosities that you guys encountered at Amos Farms. And after saving his bacon and Nevis repairing a couple weapons, you guys bedded down for the evening. One thing that we are going to kind of roll back to for at least, he's not here now, so it's not a huge deal, but in the morning, Nevis, when you were able to switch your spells up, I do need you to consume that second level spell slot for the lesser restoration that you were going to perform on him.
Was I? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm still on the fence, and especially since he's not here now, I can be a dick about it. But
Won't stop you. We'll die today.
If you're not going to do it, I'll switch out my spells and I'll do it.
no, I spent the time. I will take care of it.
So you guys, got ready to hit the road that day, and a short time down the road, you guys came across a group of bears that had come out of the woods. Oh, also, one thing I wanted to touch on before we continue going. So I know that I've been having the druids be able to speak with their donkeys, but there's been a couple times where you guys have tried to communicate with animals that were not intelligent enough to speak back, i.e. Vershad with the bears last week. Mm-hmm. So technically the donkeys can't talk back either.
Don't you fucking do this to me.
But I think we've been having a lot of fun with it. So I'm willing to keep it. I'm willing to keep it going. I just wanted you guys to know that, like,
they can at least say their own name, like a Hodor situation.
Yeah, like we don't need to sit there. It's like we don't need to have deep conversations with them. We don't have to sit there. It's like, hey, exactly who should we be voting for the 2020 election, donkey?
Right.
But I did want you guys to know that the donkeys being able to talk to you is not that they're able to. It's just that it's a joke that I'm enjoying, so we're going to keep it going. That is not going to be extended to the other intelligence 2 animals you've come across.
Sounds good. Point at talking to animals if they're not smart enough to talk back. This is entirely what I built my character on, DM. No, I'm kidding.
What if this entire time it's only been in our imaginations anyway?
What if we're? Oh my God! Are you saying elsewhere in us?
Wait, is this not real life?
Elon, are we in a simulation right now?
Yeah, damn.
Am I just a bunch of zeros and ones?
All of us really are.
I saw 2 somewhere.
Oh, that's
one
slanderous.
great reference.
Are we riding kangaroos now?
I did make some tokens for the donkeys finally.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to just plop Shadowspawn there in the GM layer, so we'll take care of that. And we're going to start off this week by rolling initiative on these bears, these berry boys.
I do believe that I would have been in front trying to talk to the bears, so I'm just going to move myself up.
Okay.
And I think I would have gotten off of Charlie in order to say that.
To talk to some bears? Yeah, that makes sense. All right.
I don't care about these bears.
So, we turn this All right. 20 to 25. 15 to 20.
17.
Who got the 18?
Stock.
Stock. Okay. And 17 for Vendy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. 10 to 15.
12.
13.
14.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
14. Nevis. Also checking it at a 14 is some burrs. Did I hear that Borax you had a 13?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then Xanalor, you had a 12?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should probably stop in my notes colloquially referring to you as Zanny, but it's going to keep happening until it's a problem. All right, Stock, you are up first, sir.
Okay.
You see before you a very large bear and 3 bears that are still pretty fucking big, but they're not full grown like the big one.
All right. I'm shuffling my happy ass over there and going after the big one.
Okay.
That probably ain't gonna hit with a total of 10.
A 10 will not. You are not able to use your glaive to pierce its thick bear hide. Vendy, you're up.
All right. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Shillelagh
Shalakok.
on the weapon I've named. It's better than bad. It's good.
Okay.
And I'm going to start by inching backwards and telling him, like, yeah, you don't want to do this. Please, you don't want to do this. And I'm going to hold an attack in case the bear comes towards me.
Why does it sound like you're making yourself smaller to the bear?
So he's more likely to miss me.
Nevis, you're up.
I know that we tried to communicate with these creatures. I am actually not inclined to attack, even though they have not backed down. So I too am going to hold my cantrip action at this point.
Okay. What's the trigger for that?
If the mother bear, well, actually, if any of the bears become aggressive enough and try to attack us.
Okay. All right. So Nevis, after your turn, it's these guys' turn. They're gonna move there, and there. Borax, you're up.
I am going to cast Bark Skin on myself, which
Okay.
raises my AC to 16.
Nice.
And I, too, am going to hold off from doing anything.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. So now you look a little
Aggressive.
bit like a tree-shaped gnome. Or halfling, sorry. Super
I
race.
get that right.
That's really bad.
I've got moss growing off my toes now.
Xanalor, you're up.
I am going to cast blindness on the big bear.
Okay.
So it's a Constitution saving throw.
All right. Big bear.
I have to
Big
move
bear.
closer first, I think. Maybe? Is that 30 feet? Nope, I'm good.
You're good. All right.
If it fails, there's just 2 eye patches on his eyes.
So that's a 9.
That's a fail.
So this bear is. You said you're casting what? Blindness?
Blindness, yeah.
Blindness. There's one of these that looks like an eyeball. Yep, there it is. That's the one.
And then I'm going to sit there.
Why does my computer seem confused as to what's right clicking and what's left clicking? Okay. It sorted itself out. All right. The big bear is going to take 2 steps forward. It's kind of like when it was before looking at you, Vershad, it's kind of like looking like over your shoulder now, like kind of back that way. You can tell that it seems like it can't see you now. But it's going to stand up on its back legs again, and it's going to
Trigger a counterattack.
it's going to
Roar real loud.
Get traded to the Green Bay Packers.
it's going to roar, and it's going to it's just going to stand up and roar and get big and blind. And so Stock, you're up.
Alrighty then. Mm-hmm.
Before we continue, would I know what this roar would indicate?
Anger.
On your
Well,
turn, you
it
can
got
make
blinded.
an insight check.
Cool. Okay.
What you doing, Stock?
Alright, so I'm gonna, just for shits and giggles, move up there, and I'm just gonna
Okay.
gingerly poke that bear, not enough to hurt it, just enough to get it to make noise, the baby one,
Okay.
to hopefully get this bear to turn around.
Okay. So you're not trying to do damage to the baby bear. You're just trying to make contact with it.
Yeah, just kind of bitch slap it, be like, what the fuck, go.
Okay. Let's go ahead and have you roll an attack.
Nope, that's gonna be a 2 I rolled.
So you hear the baby bear go "Ah!" as you miss it with the blade, and you see one of the ears like twitch on the big bear. Rashad, you're up now.
All right. I'd like to do a animal handling check to sit there and say, what the hell is this bear screaming about so much? It can't be its 2 and 7 seasons so far.
Okay. All right, go ahead and roll an insight check.
Insight, you said?
Yeah. Or no, sorry. Do animal handling.
Okay.
The bear's not really capable of lying.
Oh, bears can lie all the time. That would be a 17.
17. Okay. So for your animal handling check, I'm gonna send you a whisper.
The bear responds to Jay Cutler and will no longer be angry if you give it a bloated contract. Oh my god, this is some very deep thoughts from a bear.
Did you say very deep?
I did, yes. Or at least I wish I did. Just watch, this is like Japanese cartoons, the English dub. Okay. All right.
So you still
what I'm
have
gonna do-
your movement and free action and a possible bonus action. That would have been your action to make that check.
So then I'm going to move around, and I don't know why I can't move without moving the donkey. So 5.
Because you're riding it.
No, I'm off the donkeys now.
Oh, you're right.
All
you're right.
3 of them are linked together. So
Yep.
just let me move, and then we'll move the donkeys back. So 5, 10, Court. Oh my God, why can't I move more than 5 feet? 15, 20, 25, 30. And I'm just going to sit there and say, with my shillelagh, I'm just going to sit there and try to just gently nudge them. I was like, come on, guys, just get across.
Okay.
And that'll be my turn.
All right. I think. So when you were moving around the big bear, were you trying to be quiet? How were you going around it? Or are you just trying to get to the back?
Just trying to get to the back. I'm not going to sit there and try to take anything aggressive, knowing what you told me is that he probably can't see, or she probably can't see me.
Okay.
So I'm just walking.
All right. She is going to make an attack against you with disadvantage.
Okay.
Wow, that's weird. Okay. So it's gonna be a 24 to hit you.
Oh, that fucking hits.
Okay. And then you take 13 slashing damage.
Ouch.
Ow.
Wow.
But as you kind of like get behind the little bear, you see it like kind of like turn around to face you and like kind of tuck its butt back a little bit and start to like get ready to back up. Nevis, it's your turn.
I'm kind of torn here because it did make an aggressive move towards us, but I believe that was solicited and unintentionally, of course. I still don't want to really hurt this thing, but maybe if I don't hurt it too bad, it will just decide to flee.
Okay.
So because of my because I'm so close to the big bear, I'm going to cast Word of Radiance,
Okay.
which is a Constitution save DC of 14.
Okay. I rolled a so it's a 17.
Okay, so nothing happens.
Okay. All right. The little bears, or I should say the smaller bears, are up. This one's going to back away from you.
Can I use my opportunity attack to say, go on, get it?
You can, yeah.
All right. I rolled a natural one on go on and getting.
All right. It goes on, but it doesn't get.
I would get one also.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I'll do the same thing. Try and get him to get. Nope. Nope. Nope.
Okay. All right. Borax, you're up.
I'm just gonna hang out with my bark skin.
Okay. All right. Xanalor, you're up again.
I'm gonna circle around like here,
Okay.
and then fire an Eldritch Blast at it, but not like trying to kill it at the big bear. I just
Okay.
wanted to get it to run after the other ones.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the hit.
17?
17 will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Don't die. I rolled a 4, so 9 force damage.
Okay. All right. How long does the blindness last for?
That's a good question. 1 minute.
Okay. And it's not a concentration spell.
Correct.
Okay. All right. The big bear is up. It hears the it hears the cubs moving, but it can also hear that they haven't like cleared the road yet. So it's going to attempt to make an attack in front of it. So it's going to attack Nevis with disadvantage. First with its claws, that's going to miss with a natural 1. And then again with its mouth. And that's going to miss with an 11.
And that one, does it break its claws? Because I can't fix those.
Yeah, Corey, this is your rule.
So one of the druids got it.
Did he sit there and accidentally scratch himself?
No, you do see the I guess yeah, one of its claws like gets stuck in the ground, like falls out of it's ripped out of its paw. It's got a little bit of blood going on, but it doesn't look like.
I was actually kidding. You don't have to do that.
Well,
I'm
no,
not.
Jay challenged me. All right, Stock, you're up.
Alrighty then. Let's try and persuade this big bear to get the fuck out.
Okay.
That is a total of 12.
That will hit.
Okay. mistaken. Yep, that's the right dice.
It's just really gentle battle music, by the way.
And I'm not
Yeah,
really trying to do
It's
damage,
a
just enough
very
to,
gentle battle. Yeah.
prod him away.
So you do or don't want to do damage.
Not really. I just want to kind of motivate him to start moving away.
Okay, so you're like flat blade slapping it on the butt.
Yep.
Okay. For damage, then why don't you go ahead and roll a d4 instead,
Okay.
because it'll be sort of like an improvised weapon.
Do you want me to add any modifiers?
Yeah, you would still add your strength modifier.
Okay. So that would be, I have a total of 7.
7. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Vendi, you're up.
All right. I feel like this battle plays into a lot of Vendi's strengths. He can stand right there, and he doesn't have bear as a language.
Who does?
So instead, he's going to use Druidic and start screaming, "They've made it across! They've made it across! You can just go now!"
Okay.
And hope that bears can speak Druidic.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to do?
I'll prepare an attack with my with log if for some reason it comes after me.
Okay. All right. Nevis, you're up.
I am still very reluctant to want to hurt this bear who only seems intent upon protecting her cubs. So I think we've done enough damage to this thing so far. So I am once again going to hold my attack action unless the bear gets aggressive towards me.
Okay. So so you want to hold an attack action?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So at the end of your turn, little guys are up again. They're going to break into the brush, and it makes quite a bit of noise because, well, they're big bears, despite the fact that they're not as big as the adult one. And you hear them kind of like making small bear noises. Like I don't know. I can't imitate bear noises very well, so I'm not going to. So they break into the brush. Borax, you're up.
All right, I am going to cast Animal Friendship on the big bear.
Okay.
So if he's got an intelligence of less than 4, he has to pass a Wisdom save of 12.
He does. Wisdom of 12, you say?
Yep.
Okay. It actually got a 16.
Okay. Well, then I can't convince him I don't mean no harm. Then as a bonus action, I'm going to pick up some rocks and make them magic.
Okay. All right. Xanalor, you're up.
Can I tell if this thing is like seriously injured or just kind of hurt?
It looks like it's hurt. It does not appear to be grievously wounded at this point.
I'm gonna prod it again with an Eldritch Blast.
Okay. I'm going to roll a hit.
20 to hit.
That will hit.
And 6, because I can't. 1 + 5.
Okay. All right. That one looked like it staggered the bear a bit. You hit it with the Eldritch Blast, and the force damage kind of caused it to trip a little bit over its now wounded paw and blindness. But it is its turn, and it is going to start backing up towards where it heard its cubs go towards. So if anybody wants to make an opportunity attack, they can.
Nope, let it go.
Negative.
Okay.
I use mine to yell, "That's right, run away."
So yeah, they run
No,
into
I
the
don't.
brush and disappear.
We did it.
Okay,
We solved
good.
your killing innocent animals puzzle.
Well, I didn't put it together that way initially. I definitely painted it out that the bears were being aggressive. But no, I like the way you guys handled that.
Yeah.
If anybody doesn't already have inspiration, go ahead and take it for being
Wonderful.
good people.
Yeah. I mean, let's be real. The Bears get killed every Sunday anyway.
Oh,
I'm glad I took my Bears jersey off before the stream. Shit.
If not, you'd have to after that.
Yeah, right. Jeez, no, guys, give me 5 minutes. All right. So yeah, so you guys completed the bear puzzle. Right. So you guys continue forward along the road. You eventually reach where you're going to make a camp for the evening. You start getting stuff set up.
Whoa.
Oh Jesus! Look at all the.
It's like a map with places on it.
Yeah.
Man, if only we had this a year ago when we started the fucking Rise of Tiamat.
So for those of you who aren't in the Discord chat, this map was supplied when I purchased the Tyranny of Dragons campaign module on Roll20. And so the map has always had this kind of like dullish patina to it, and the words on the map had a similar dull red quality to them, so I thought it was just a part of the aesthetic. I did not know that for the better part of a year that I've been showing the players this map that there were no locations on it. So now that I've pulled my head out of my butt and gone into the GM layer and pulled them all out, you guys can see the entire map of the Sword Coast and everything on it.
There's Silver Moon. We fought there.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, you guys are about there. Yeah, right about there.
There's the Well of Dragons. We fucked shit up there.
Tribor. There's some water deep.
There's El Terrell. Man, I heard that there's a gnome bard who's a fucking prick who still plays there to this day.
Hey, look, there's Greenest, guys.
Yeah, all the way down at the bottom. That's where Hagrid's adventure started. Okay, so yeah, you guys arrive. You can kind of see on these, like, you're in the sort of foothills of the Sword Mountains. It's like a mix between. It's kind of like a plateau area, right? Where like you can tell that you're like in sort of elevated terrain, but you're not in actual like rolling hills and mountains. But you can see ahead of you the Tradeway, or sorry, the Long Road, not the Tradeway. Tradeway is a different road. So yeah, you can see the Long Road coming up. So you guys, you realize that this is probably about as far as you can make it before you lose the light, and then wind up having to be along the trade route without any light. So yeah, you guys stop here to set up camp. Is there anything that you guys want to do before setting up watch? Anything you guys want to say to each other? Anything like that? At this point, we're just going to pretend like Shadow Spawn isn't around.
Is not around?
Yeah, I'm not going to try to RP him.
Okay.
Can we just call him Steve?
It's not like last week when Vendi wanted to talk to Borax about the donkey thing, and I like knew how Borax felt about that. Like I've had 2 hours with Shadow Spawn in the game. I don't know how to RP him.
Yeah.
How do you react if we just called him Pawn the entire time?
I'm calling him well met.
Well met. I forgot that was the nickname you gave him.
What if we just call him Sperm?
Wow.
How do we get that? Don't answer. Don't answer. I don't want to know. I'm gonna pull over Xanalor for a second, and Xanalor. Hey, can I borrow you for a minute?
I suppose.
Hey, let's go over and take a walk. And as soon as I get out of earshot, everybody else, I drop the Jerry Garcia accent.
Mm-hmm.
And I just say, there's like, all right, so you obviously figured it out. And I imagine it's only a matter of time until the rest of the party figures out what's going on. I don't want to endanger them by knowing what they shouldn't know, but do you feel like they kind of need to know?
If you feel comfortable that they should know, it seems like we're going to be.
I mean, this one's not
in a group, at least for a while, and it could be beneficial if we know what's coming.
I mean, this one's not about me anymore. there's going to be people who are coming after me, and by proxy, coming after them. Do they at least deserve to know that that could be happening?
I think it'd be good if everyone had enough knowledge to keep an eye out.
All right. Just don't say anything until I get a chance to say it first. All right.
Absolutely.
All right. Cool. All right. I suppose we should be heading back.
So, as the two of you rejoin the group, Borax has gotten a fire started, and you guys have started, breaking out some rations, and the donkeys are grazing on some of the long grasses around. As you guys sort of sit quietly, Vershad, you're hesitating a bit to say what it is that you want to say because you're not sure how they're going to react to it yet. So you've just sort of got that low-level anxiety, like burning feeling in the bottom of your chest, and it's just steady and mounting as you start picking the words out in your head and thinking over the possible reactions to what the group might say.
Can I make a Constitution saving throw to see if I have the balls to sit there and say it tonight?
Yeah, you can.
That will be a 7.
A 7. You're building up to it.
Excuse me, guys. Can I borrow you guys for a second? How fucking great is it that we're all here tonight, enjoying the wonderful weather, this fucking campfire? It's fucking,
thank you.
fucking amazing.
I hate camping.
Why?
It's
Here, one with
dirty.
nature, underneath the stars.
I'm
fresh
sleeping
air,
on a
nice
bearskin
fire.
rug.
I saw a unicorn once camping. It's pretty
Uh,
cool.
Technically, Xanalor, I don't think I've seen you sleep for the past few days.
Yeah, I think he's right about that.
You don't watch me the whole night.
I'm making a couple of assumptions, yes.
I sleep when you're not looking.
I turn around. I turn around again.
Like, you turn around back at me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm awake.
Are you playing red light, green light? What the fuck?
What are the lights?
As I was a kid, it was called brown light, brown light.
Dude.
Does anyone else want to say anything? Obviously, I'm not saying you have to. I'm just offering you guys the opportunity.
So, Nevis has been quiet this night, and he's been just kind of watching this back and forth and kind of just looking over the group. And I know we haven't been together a whole lot, but kind of reflecting back on what it was that got us here, thinking it's time to kind of get to know the group better. So
Two
let me
truths and a
start.
lie?
So let me start.
Icebreakers.
You guys have noticed I'm a cleric and a sort of a person who can fix things. Not that there's anything typical in this world anymore, so I'm just gonna put it out there. Tinkering, crafting, creating, forging. Call it what you like. As a child, I was intrigued by making things and how things were made. My parents were as understanding as they could be, being farmers. Not having the same interests or abilities made it slightly difficult to be patient at times. I sympathized with their frustration, and one day, while wandering the nearby woods, I found the answer. A huge tree had fallen during a recent storm. Its hollowed-out bore was enormous, the perfect place to set up my own workshop where I could avoid irritating my family. A chance encounter one day changed my course forever. While in my tree shop, I heard noises unfamiliar to me as of yet. Looking out, I see a modestly sized figure staring back at me. He kind of looked like an old child, but with a full red beard. Clad in armor and shield, he holstered the huge hammer he had drawn upon hearing noise himself. Noticing the devices beside me, he eyed me up and down and asked, "How would you like to learn true crafting? Above this level of crude wood and hemp, I can teach you to craft metal." Startled and intrigued beyond common thinking, I followed. His own workshop wasn't far. He called it a forge and began to explain how heat and pressure can create things beyond crude methods. With my parents' blessing, I became an apprentice of Ulfgar. The dwarf instilled in me the knowledge and respect of forging. He also taught me of Hephaestus, the outcast. Ulfgar himself was an outcast of sorts, explaining his self-imposed exile from his mountain world. I found joy and fulfillment in my craft and my deity. I began my own forge and business, and began supplying the surrounding inhabitants with weapons and farm equipment alike. It is here that my story becomes our story. So there you have it.
Out of character, damn. In character. My name is Borax. My favorite color is green. I like the forest. I heard some bad shit was going on, so I came out to check on it. The end. Sorry, I didn't know we were doing this. I'm not as prepared as he was.
And you saw a unicorn?
I think so. I don't know. My donkey says he didn't. Well, ex-donkey. He's only after me for my pineapple. But that's a whole nother story.
You're my best friends. That's what I wanted to say today. That's it. Only that.
Are you sure? You don't have anything else to share with everybody as we're doing this?
What's your favorite color, dude?
Cerulean?
Interesting pick.
Can I roll to see if that's a color?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Just roll an intelligence check.
That's a 1. I'm
You've
pretty
seen
sure
it.
that's a city.
You've probably seen cerulean, but you have no idea what it actually is.
Yeah, if we're playing Two Truths and a Lie, my name is Nuvender Vershad. I'm totally a druid, and I've never told a lie.
One of those, only one lie.
Stock and Nevis, you guys notice that Vershad's voice has changed a bit. He doesn't sound the same sort of hippie stonerish as he did before. And Nevis, you actually kind of you sense a bit of him holding something back.
Roll a dice to find out what.
I'm just going off of some of the you guys' passive skills. That's why the Stock and Nevis caught the accent or the voice.
I simply at this point in time look over to Stock and see if he's picked up on the same thing I have. If he has, I give him kind of a knowing nod. Subtle, of course.
I give the same nod backwards while I'm staring at Vershad the whole time.
And I give the same nod too.
So now that we're all nodding at each other like some...
We are a collection of
Like some
bobbleheads.
freaking idiot comedy.
I have a +0 to charisma.
2 druids.
Good point.
Nevis, why don't you go ahead and roll an insight check for me? And actually, stock as well. Now that you guys have kind of clued each other into the fact that you're both a little
Like,
Like you're full of shit.
yeah. So go ahead, both of you roll an insight check.
23.
Okay, that's fair.
Was
Quite
she-
high.
What
you
is
say?
that? One of them supposed to be me because it kind of broke up a little bit.
Oh yeah, Nevis. Yeah, please roll an insight check. And then Vershad, did you roll a check as well?
I rolled a check between deception or persuasion. I'm not telling you.
Okay.
6.
A 6?
It's a 6.
Okay.
I rolled low, but it still is a 14.
Okay. So yeah, Nevis, you really get the feeling that there's a lot more that Vershad probably wants to say. Stock, you get the sense that Vershad is not saying what he wants to say. That telling you guys that you're all his best friends and that's all he wanted to say was a complete lie. And you can tell that there is something that's eating at him, and he might just need a little bit of prodding to get it to come out.
Something eating at him besides a Langolier.
Yeah. And the fantasy mosquitoes, of course.
you really enjoyed that one, huh?
So I'm gonna stand up and grab my glaive, walk past Vershad,
Oh god.
basically put my hand on his shoulder, whisper in his ear, "This is the second time you've lied to me. The third will be your last." And I begin to walk
gosh.
towards the woods.
I'm going to roll a Constitution saving throw to see if there's anything in my pants.
Insight check.
That's a 14. How dirty are my pants right now?
Well, you managed to not crap your pants, but you realize that it's probably now or never on the truth there.
I didn't lie. You're really my best friends, but I had more I wanted to say.
Stock, you kind of stop walking for a moment.
Yep.
Start to listen.
My name's not Offender. I am a druid. I gave you a fake name and a fake personality and all this stuff because I wanted to not die, but since my best friends are going to kill me, I'm fucked.
I don't know if the personality was fake.
Stock, as Vershad is kind of laying it all out, you start slowly walking back towards the group because you want to hear this, obviously.
What is your name? I think that's probably the best place to start, right?
It might not be.
No.
In the interest of keeping you all safe, I prefer that you still refer to me as Uvender, because the more you may know about me, the more you may become a target.
A target of you don't have to be specific, just
I think I saw the party responsible for the tears in our plane. I'm not for sure, but I saw a group of 5 or 6 individuals, all wearing hoods, doing some spooky magical ritual.
did you see us? Was it us?
No, this is before I met you guys.
Oh, okay, good.
And then I sat there and I had a really long, uncomfortable fart in the woods. And then one of them turned around and looked at me. And I knew that I had to run. So that's how I landed in Neverwinter. And I was taking jobs in order to buy a disguise. This is one of them. I decided to go as the most squalid and wretched people so that those individuals would never look for me. They wouldn't want to go to where I was at. And I'm under the assumption that it's only a matter of time until they see through that disguise. And I go into my kit and I pull out my next one and my fake ID and goes like, I have a plan for that. And a new identity and a new way of doing things. In fact, everything I wrote down in my notes, if it wasn't about them and what I thought they did, it was about who the new me was going to be. And if you need me to get the fuck out, I get it.
No, just, well, who's the new you gonna be? We might like him better.
Ouch.
Just kidding. We're buddies.
Yeah, his name will be Royce.
Oh, definitely not. Stay as you've been, much better.
And I hope that you
Well,
can see why I disguised what I disguised.
I mean, thanks. I feel like we should all be in this together. That's some heavy shit. I'm tearing holes in planes. Someone
But
should do
if
something
they're-
about that.
Yeah, if they're going after me, they very well could go after you too. And if you didn't want to accept that danger, I get it.
Nah, they seem...
Did
go
you
ahead.
did you see any of their faces?
I saw one. And I'm going to pull up my phone because I haven't transcribed it to D&D Beyond yet. I saw there's a tall male figure in robes. He looks like he would have been a high elf based off of what little I saw from the facial structure that was exposed.
Was he
From the
wearing a
robe?
fish t-shirt?
No, he was actually wearing a robe that sat there and said Jafar did nothing wrong. Yeah, but that's as much as I could get on a description.
Okay.
How many?
5 or 6.
And did you see how they opened the rift?
No, I think I either got there before the magic happened or after the ritual ended. Because I saw random swirlings of an arcane ritual, but I didn't hear the parchment tearing sounds that we have been hearing. But I've also never seen individuals gathering in the middle of the night like that until these events.
Have you noticed anyone ever following you?
I don't know. I think I'm so defensive right now that I'm seeing ghosts in the middle of the city. It's why I've been sleeping out in wild shapes. It's why I've been away from you guys in the city. Is if they were going to get me, they were going to get me, and they wouldn't get any of the information I collected. And maybe someone could sit there and turn around and use it against them, even if I left.
But do you have any evidence that they're actually after you? Like, any reasons to suspect besides paranoia?
I thought I saw them, but look, man, if they're doing something that they're not supposed to be doing and some fucking guy farted in the wrong area, I'm a witness. I would be very, very positive that they're going to try to eliminate me.
Just try not to fart again so they can't track you.
Oh, trust me, I've gone straight vegan.
Good.
That's actually
Should've-
to make it worse.
It's going to change the smell drastically.
Well, I'm gonna roll a Constitution saving throw to see if I fart right when I say I went straight vegan. Rolled a natural 2. 6.
Kale chips smell bad on the way in and out.
Is it a
Okay.
bit slippery?
Does anyone else have anything that they want to say before we start going into watch? I know that a lot has been said, so there's probably some reflecting that you guys need to do, both in character and out.
Yeah.
But if there's nothing else anybody wants to say, then we'll start assigning watches for the evening.
Nope, just clap a hand on his shoulder again and sit back down.
I just want to make eye contact and nod at Rashad.
Once again, still doing the like just because someone else is not, I'm just mirroring social skills.
And the nervous farting.
Okay. So who's taking what watch?
I'll take first.
Last.
Third.
All right. Okay.
Second.
And
All right,
Well-Met
we're
isn't
gonna get a
here,
night
so I
off.
can sleep.
What's that, Sandler?
Well-Met isn't here, so I can sleep.
Okay. All right. So Vershad, why don't you get roll a perception check for me for your watch?
16.
16. Okay. You feel pretty good. You feel energized through your watch. Your eyes seem more acute. Your vision, your sense of hearing sharper, and you feel a sense of weightlessness almost, as this your secret that you've been carrying around with you all this time is finally known to people, and they didn't reject you for it. They accepted you for it. And your 2 hours fly by, and nothing happens.
As I sit there and I tap, who's second watch? Stock?
Nevis.
Nevis. Before I wake up Nevis, I just go, you guys really are my best friends. And I tap him awake and say, it's your turn, guys.
All right. Nevis, go ahead and make your perception check for me.
A nat 20, so a 24.
Okay. You watch as sorry, I have like spit caught in my throat. You watch as Uvender lays down and seems to go to sleep pretty quickly. You look around the camp and everyone seems to be sleeping pretty peacefully. The fire is burning at a nice slow but warm flame. The donkeys are all asleep, and you watch out towards the long road. You don't see any activity. There's no like people moving along the long road, but your watch for the evening comes and goes without any incident. And then Stock is up next.
Alrighty. That is some number. 14.
14. Okay. So you transition into your watch. The slight elevation change seems to be once again assisting you through your watch. You kind of reflect over how you handled today. The bears. You were able to use nature to help nature, as opposed to being the stream that cuts through it. You were the basically the piece of wood that's carried along with the current. And then in stark contrast to that, you reflect back on your words to Vershad, and you wonder if your hand there may not have been too heavy. You got what you wanted done, for sure. It had the effect you desired, but you wonder maybe what your master would have had to say about the tact that was used. But your watch comes and goes without incident, and Xanalor, your watch is up. You go ahead and you'll still be making this one with disadvantage because you're still exhausted from the day before.
Okay.
And then as you journal for the evening, you do see a message.
With disadvantage of 12 for perception.
A 12. Okay. So you go through your typical daily ritual on watch. You keep your ears open. You look around. Every once in a while, you have a thought and you put it in your journal, and you look periodically to see if there's been any replies or anything like that. And at one point, you do see a reply, not necessarily in reply to what you said last, but there is a message in the journal. And then the sky starts to give way to the colors of sunrise, and before you know it, the next day is upon you. It's the 7th day of your travel. And so you guys, you start packing up, get ready to go, and you know that you're basically your route today. You're heading down towards the long road, and then up through Long Saddle, so that you can go through sort of the path south of the Lurkwood to get to go through Nesme to Dazut in the Evermoors. You know that cutting straight through here. Probably not a great idea with the rivers and stuff like that. It's going to be very slow going with the land probably being quite soft there. So you guys, you travel throughout the day, and you actually, as you're kind of starting to keep an eye out for a good stopping point, you wind up cresting a hill and see that it might be pushing it just a little bit as far as daylight goes, but there's a town up ahead, and you're pretty sure based on your map that it's the town of Longsaddle. So you guys push forward just a little bit further today, because you probably don't have to set up camp. There may be an inn in the town, right?
Yeah.
So you guys, you guys arrive. The hamlet of Longsaddle is a little more than a row of buildings on either side of the long road. It's halfway along the lengthy journey from Tribor to Mirabar. A path leaves the road here and winds to... anyone who wants to go ahead and make a history check, see if you know anything about Longsaddle.
I don't.
Okay.
I doubt if I do.
13.
4.
You're 20.
Okay.
6.
All right. Nevis, apparently you've been through here before. So you see a path leave the long road in Longsaddle to go up through the hamlet of buildings, and you know that it goes up to something called the Ivory Mansion, which is the great house of wizards of the Harple family. Since the Harples founded the town more than 4 centuries ago, they have brooked little nonsense and less mayhem. Their own behavior sometimes borders on the bizarre and can be disturbing. They once turned 2 rival sect of Malorites into rabbits for disturbing Longsaddle with their squabbles, leaving them at the mercy for the predators that they had honored. But they are one of the more potent gatherings of mages anywhere in the north. The primary business of Longsaddle, and really all of you guys can discern this on your way in, seems to be ranching. The lands surrounding the village are dominated by hundreds of ranches and farms of every sort and size, from tiny horse farms to great fields of cattle. Several businesses designed to attract travelers do stand in Longsaddle, if for no other reason than travel along the well-named Long Road can be tiresome. The first establishment is the Gilded Horseshoe. It's an old inn to the west of the road that serves fine food and drink, offers comfortable beds, and is close enough to the Ivy Mansion that no one would dare disturb it or its guests. The owners of the Gilded Horseshoe have access to some of the choicest cuts of meat in Longsaddle, and as a result, their roasts and stews are exquisite. And Nevis, you basically relay this to the party as you guys are coming in. That might be a great place to eat. There is entertainment to be had at the Gambling Golem, where cheaters in the card or dice games are tossed out into the street, and a local marbles game known as Scatter Shields is popular. There are a number of other shops where dry goods, candles, lanterns, saddles, rope, and wagon wheels are available. Rashad, you think that this might be a good opportunity to purchase something that you had kind of forgotten about before you left Neverwinter to catch up with the party.
Yeah. I'd like to sit there and buy a sling.
Okay.
Particularly a slingshot, but any will do.
Yeah. Let's really quick here. I want to look to see. Well, what's the cost of a sling on?
It says 1 silver piece.
Okay. So I'm actually going to sell you this for for 6 copper. Because the slingshot itself, as the woman who runs this shop tells you, it's actually a children's toy. I mean, you can have it. You know, I'll sell it to you gladly. But it is typically referred to as a children's toy. You kind of test the band and stuff on it, the elasticity of it. It does seem like it'll certainly serve the purpose of attacking like a sling.
You said
It's
6
just
copper?
yes, 6 copper. It's just slightly cheaper because it's sold as a children's toy.
Mhm.
As you look through the shop, the woman, she explains to you, she says that she's sorry that she doesn't have any of the magic items that are available at like the fancy shops in the bigger cities. And she kind of like looks to you guys and sees that you're adventurers, and she asks you, have you been to any of those shops? Have you seen any of these magic items?
All of them.
What?
My friend here, he's much more of a connoisseur in these than the rest of us. I'm going to be honest, you've probably seen more than I have.
What sort of things have you seen? We don't get a lot of magic items here in Long Saddle.
Different
I've got this pole.
things like that, Paul. Rings of different magical qualities and different poles.
All the poles.
Oh, pick me.
Cloaks that make people invisible.
Wow.
There's one I said, there's this magic sheet that if you jumped off of something, it would slow your fall so you wouldn't die.
Yeah, that's really interesting. These items are obviously pretty hard to come by, and I'm assuming they're very pricey once they've been found, right?
They can be, unless you know the right people.
Well, if you're really desperate, I have heard a rumor about a legendary enchanter who lived in a lone stone tower in a remote part of the northern wilds. As far as where that is, the rumors at least say that he was connected in some way to a town west of Silvermoon.
Would you like anything from this individual?
Oh, I mean, I doubt I have the coin to purchase off of you whatever you might find if you find this man, but or this person.
Do you
You just want to look at it?
do you get many travelers looking for magical items?
Not a lot. There are some people who come to town. They're heading towards. Every once in a while, you get people from the eastern regions heading towards Luskan, where the Arcane Brotherhood is. But for the most part, no. It's just people looking to, fix their wagons. The road from Tribor to Mirabar can be a bit trying for some wagons if they're not in the best of shape. You just anytime adventurers really come into town, it's a bit of a it's a rarity. It doesn't happen a lot, and usually someone asks me about magic items, but I just figured I'd cut that off at the bud, nip that in the bud.
Well, I wasn't going to ask for magic items, but do you know where I could get a good warm meal?
Oh, yes. I can't recommend the Gilded Horseshoe enough. Me and my husband go there every Friday at the end of the week for one of their famous stews.
Yeah, but is it vegan friendly? I'm sorry, I can't eat everything. A lot of dietary issues.
I'm sure if you could ask, the owner could
You would have heard them if I made them up before.
strain out the meat. I'm not sure.
Well, guys, anything else we want to do at this children's toy shop?
Do you sell children's toys?
Just those slingshots.
At KB D&D?
I have nothing I need here.
So I will point out when I was going through the description of Long Saddle, if you guys, and I'm not saying that you have to, if you guys did decide that you wanted to play Scatter Shields at the Gambling Golem, I did create a rule set for it.
I forgot that you said that. I do want to play a dice game.
Okay.
Yep, I'm down.
I've already gambled enough with my life.
Dice, anyone?
Excuse me.
Marble game played with dice.
Well, it is Dungeons and Dragons. Okay. Who wants to go to the Gambling Golem? Who wants to go to the Gilded Horseshoe? Does someone want to go to both? And in what order?
Gambling
I-
Golem.
Just want to get food.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm of the same mindset.
Okay.
like to
Nevis,
do
how about
both.
you? You'd like to do both? So you want to eat and then go over to the Gambling Golem, or go to the Gambling Golem and then head over to the Gilded Horseshoe to eat and go to sleep?
The former.
Is the Gambling Golem open in the morning?
It's actually closed from 2 to 5 a.m. like most casinos.
It doesn't seem that it's open in the later evenings. It seems, in the morning hours is probably a after work kind of thing in a mostly farming town like this.
All right. I wanted to wait until the morning, but that's okay. I'll do it now.
Okay. So Nevis, Borax, and Uvinder, you guys go to the Gilded Horseshoe. You walk in, and then you immediately are hit with the sense of fine stews and roasts. Yeah, that was the word I was looking for. Borax, do you eat meat? Are you like Uvinder and you're a vegan, or no?
Oh, I eat meat, yeah.
Okay. Uvinder, you ask as you guys come into the establishment, and they do serve a vegetarian option that does not have the meats in it. It's not quite as good, but some people do ask for it still.
Nice. I still pepper them with a bunch of questions about how it gets made. Bring in a bunch of dietary restrictions that I'm not even sure
It turns out they make it the exact same way as the regular stew, but the meat isn't in there at the end.
At the end? Or during the process?
But was it there in the beginning? Push on. It's not
You're in Long Saddle. The meat's always there. Okay, so are you guys looking to secure rooms for the evening?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I'm not there.
Borax, you said you wanted to stay in the bed, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
For sure.
Nevis, where do you fall on that spectrum? Were you looking to sleep indoors today, or were you wanting to, I don't know, camp out still?
Well, that's actually brings up an interesting point that I was going to investigate. As a clan crafter, I am afforded hospitality by certain types of dwarves. And I don't know how to go about investigating whether or not these particular dwarves are in the area or not.
Okay. Let's see. Why don't you go ahead and make an investigation check, and this will basically be you kind of asking around, you will have asked like the shopkeeper that you guys stopped at, and this is just kind of like happening behind the scenes.
Okay. 18.
18. Okay. So you ask around a little bit, and after some shooken heads, you come to learn that most of the dwarves that come to Long Saddle are actually there on, they might stay the evening, but they don't actually live in Long Saddle. Long Saddle is mostly humans and half elves, people who are more interested in farming, where dwarves are more interested in crafting and mining.
Okay. Well, as long as it's not too awful expensive to find a stable for the donkey and lodging for myself, then I think I'd like to have an indoor stay tonight.
Okay. So you guys talk to the the I'll say the barkeep essentially is probably taking care of most of these things. There are some people there are some servers who are bringing out soups and roasts and drinks, bussing them back and forth. But you go up to the barkeep, and it's an older gentleman. You look at his hands as he cleans the countertop and pours the drinks, and they're sort of like gnarled and cramped with age. So it looks like he's probably retired from farming, which is why he works at the golden horseshoe, the gilded horseshoe. Sorry. You walk up and he greets you. He says, "Yes, well, what can I do for you?"
Well, we can start off with a flagon of your best ale and a hearty meal. And then some of my companions and I are interested in taking advantage of lodging for ourselves and our animals.
Here at the Gilded Horseshoe, we actually have somewhat of a special. For 1 silver piece each, you get room, board for your livestock, and you get an entree and a flagon of mead complimentary.
Yeah. Here, I flick a silver at him.
Kind of hits him in the chest as he tries to grab it. He's like, oh.
Outstanding.
The donkey's name is Pitt.
I'm actually gonna put 2 silver pieces down on the bar for him.
Okay. All right.
You're bad at negotiating.
All right. He asks you, is the second silver for someone else or?
No, it's for you, my good man.
Oh, thank you very much. So yeah, you guys. He takes your names down. He reserves a couple rooms for Xanalor and Stock because you guys tell him that they'll probably be coming later. You guys sit down at one of the tables, and someone brings you guys. Do you want roast or stew?
Stew.
Stew. Okay. Vendor, do you want roast or stew? Probably stew because you get the vegetarian option. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. So you guys sit down and you eat your meals and you get to drink your drink, and Nevis after that finishes up, you think to yourself, you know what, maybe I do want to earn a little bit of money here. Some of that scatter shield sounds pretty good. So you just kind of stand up from the table. You say, "Gentlemen, I'll see you in the morning," and you head over to the gambling golem, where we'll meet up with Stock and Xanalor. And so basically here's how this is going to work, right? You guys are going to be playing against other people. You're not going to be gambling against each other, just because there's only so many scatter shields tables essentially. And so you guys are kind of joining into the openings, right? So basically Scatter Shields is a marble game where the goal is to use a large marble strategically banked off of specialized wooden bumpers to knock as many marbles into your end cup as possible. So there's basically 2 openings in the wooden bumpers with another receptacle essentially slid and locked into place there where smaller marbles will be knocked into. And essentially the game consists of 3 rounds, and the person with the most marbles in the cup at the end wins. So there will be, like I said, there'll be 3 rounds, and you guys can bet at each round. So the opening bet is 5 gold pieces.
Can I watch someone else play first?
Sure. Nevis and Stock, are you guys anteing the 5 gold pieces?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So each of you roll 2d6. And then tell me the end result.
6 and a 4.
So a total of 10?
Yes.
Same
Okay.
here.
Okay. So you guys both actually, during that round, you maybe it's beginner's luck. Maybe you're just really good at this. Who knows? You sort of fling the large marble, and it bounces around and hits some of the smaller marbles, and you actually wind up hitting more into your cup than the guy across from you. So you actually are ahead at the end of the first round. And now with the second round, it's kind of like in poker, right? You can check, you can bet, you can raise, and the guy across from you both, since you guys won that first round, he checks.
I'll do the same.
Okay.
I'm going to double down.
Okay. So you're putting down another 5?
Yes.
Okay. So then he calls you and puts another 5 into the pot. So now there's 20 gold on the table for your game, Nevis. There's still the 10 gold on your table stock. So now both of you again for the second round, roll 2d6.
6.
Okay.
9.
9. Okay. So Nevis, with a 6, you actually wind up losing the second round. There are still some marbles left on the table, but the other guy was able to get more than you. Stock, with a 9, you actually get a mixed result, which means that you guys essentially have a wash on this round, where you guys both net the same amount of marbles. So last round of betting, and then the last round of play.
Yeah, I'll put down another 5.
Okay. The other guy, he's gonna call. So your pot is up to 20 gold again. Nevis, how about you?
So what, since I lost that round, do I need to re-ante? Or...
No, so the game ends after 3 rounds, and whoever is the winner
Right.
at the end of 3 rounds. So essentially you're tied in your game right now.
Okay. All right. I will check as well then.
Okay. The guy across from you, he checks also, because it's a tie game at this point, so doesn't want to lose money. Hasn't been having a hot night so far. All right, so last round of betting, 20 gold on the table for both of you. Let's go roll those 2d6.
I just had to bounce them out of the box for that one, didn't I?
God, I'm getting worse. That was only a 5.
I got a 5 also.
Okay. So with that, Nevis, you lose the third round, and you actually wind up losing the game. So you mark 10 gold off of your sheet. Stock, you actually don't wind up losing any gold. Your game was a complete wash in the end, because you won a round, you lost a round, and then you guys tied a round. The game is a complete wash, so you guys just take your money back.
Did I notice how the marbles are counted? Like, is it just people just eyeball it?
There appears to be some level of honor system in play here.
Okay.
There's not like an
dump
employee
out
like watching over the tables.
Okay.
Okay. Does anyone want to play again? Xanalor, do you want to try now?
Yep.
I'll give
All right,
it
so
another shot.
I'll do it
Yeah.
again.
Okay. All right. So each of you go ahead and mark off 5 gold pieces, and you'll roll your 2d6 and let me know the result.
6.
Okay.
3.
Okay.
Frickin' 5 again.
Okay. You guys all wind up losing your first rounds. So now you guys have an opportunity to check or bet, essentially.
Bet.
Okay. So mark another 5 gold off, Xanalor.
I'm gonna check.
Okay. Nevis?
I'm going to check this time as well.
Okay. Both of your guys actually they bet because they won the first round, so they're feeling a little emboldened. So you guys will have to throw another 5 in yourselves. So go ahead and mark. Actually, everyone mark another 5 off, and then go ahead and roll.
Shimon.
Wow. 5s are wild.
8.
7.
Okay. 7. Okay. Stock and Xanalor, you guys tie this round because you have a mixed success. Nevis, you said you got another 5.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, you lose the second round, and basically, there's no way that you can win now. So the unless you want to bet. Well, actually, no. Basically, you lost the first 2 rounds, so the game is over. You wind up losing those 10 gold.
Alrighty.
Okay, so Stock and Xanalor, you guys are both down. Down 1, tied the second, and it's time to check or bet.
Check.
Is there a way for me to win, or pushing is the best I can do?
Pushing is the best you can do.
That I don't bet.
Okay. All right. The guy across from you. Let's see here. I'm going to roll for both of you to see if the guy bets or not. Okay. They both do. So they put another 5 gold in.
I glare at him hard.
So that's 30 gold on the table. And then each of you
But
roll.
I'll put money in, yeah.
Okay.
Come on, big money. 7.
Okay.
But I want to look very carefully if I'm going to win or lose. And if I'm going to lose, I want to try to very subtly cast Minor Illusion.
Okay.
And make it look like I have more. Yeah.
Okay. Stock, how'd you do?
7.
7. Okay. So Stock, at the end of the third round, you guys tie again, but because you lost the first round, you actually lose.
Okay.
So that 15 gold from your inventory is gone. Xanalor, go ahead and make a sleight of hand check for me.
Oh, pretty good. 18.
18. Okay. And you're casting what minor illusion?
Yeah.
What is the illusion that you're casting?
I just want to make my pool of marbles look like it's more than the other guys.
Okay. Yeah. So you kind of watch very carefully, and you see the number, and you see that it would have been a wash, but you're able to make it look like you won that round by a couple of marbles, and so it winds up being a push. So you get your 15 gold back.
I want to. Do we ever do more than 3 rounds, or is it a new game all the time?
The guy sitting across from you, kind of stacking his money back up and thinking over whether he wants to do another game or not, says, Well, it's usually just 3 rounds, but I suppose if you wanted to up the ante, we could do 5.
How much are you talking?
I'm thinking 10 gold minimum instead of 5.
Let's do it.
All right. It's like they say, there's a sucker born every minute. All right.
And he is you.
Slaps in his 10 gold. Stalker, Nevis, do you guys want to play again?
Nope, don't have enough. Game's too expensive.
Oh, my luck in D&D games a chance are as dismal as my luck in real life at games a chance.
That's why we cheat.
I'm done.
Okay. All right. So yeah, it'll be 5 rounds. Do you have enough gold to do 5 rounds of 10 gold betting?
Nope.
Okay. All right. So yeah, go ahead and roll your 2d6. We'll see how the round goes.
7.
Okay. That's a mixed success, so that's a tie.
Okay.
Check or bet?
I check.
Check. He kind of looks through his stack of gold a little bit, checks the pouch on his side. He goes, bet 10 more gold. Slides it in.
I slide mine in.
All right. Go ahead and roll.
Uh-oh. 4.
4. All right. So you wind up losing this round.
Okay.
So it's a tie and a loss. So it's advantage other guy. He goes, well, what do you say? Check or bet?
I'm going to slide in my 5 copper, 4 silver, and 1 of my gold, and minor illusion it to be gold.
Okay, make another sleight of hand check.
He's gonna see it. 7.
7. All right, he pulls out like a dagger and kind of rests the tip of it on the table. And he goes, all right, now I can see that you're all in. Now we can either keep playing and I can take you for all you got, or I can report you to the manager and get you kicked out of here and I take your gold anyway. He's kind of like spinning the tip of the dagger in the table. So I ain't that much to drink yet.
I'm not afraid of your dagger. Can we just play it out as it is?
We'll play it out like you just didn't, like you just put down some of that silver and copper and tried to pass it off as gold. I'll match you. I got a couple weeks worth of weight just sitting on me.
I mean, that was all I had. I didn't do anything. If it looked different in the light to you, I guess that's your problem.
I don't really. This is gonna be our last game. I'm gonna tell you that much right now.
I like.
He slides in. He winds up. He matches you. He says, "I guess we're playing straight up from here on, huh?" And so go ahead and roll your 2d6.
10.
10. Okay. So you win this round. It is back to being a neutral game. He says, "All right. Well, now that you got you got rid of my upper hand here, is anything else you want to wager outside of money?" Now, we can keep playing this way. You don't have to. I'm just wondering if there's anything else you think you got worth the prizing.
Wager your virginity.
I take out one of my daggers and drop it out.
All right, fine. He puts the dagger that he was playing with on the table. Oh, all right. Let's play. Go ahead and roll your 2d6.
I lost.
Yeah.
I rolled 3.
Roll the 3. All right. Yeah. Advantage back to him. So that's 4 rounds. So you got to win this last one to push. Says, And if you got anything else you're willing to part ways with, I'll be happy to take it. But maybe if I were you, I wouldn't put any more else up on the table. We just play this last round.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's play. Go roll your 2d6.
Good roll. 11.
11. All right. You won the 5th round. And so with the push there in round 2, you wind up getting your stuff back. He says, "All right, take your shit, get the hell out of here. I'm tired of you."
This wasn't as profitable as I expected.
Yeah, I'll say. Thinking it might be just about time to head home. Maybe head over to the horseshoe, get another round.
Are you any good with that dagger?
It's basically just a knife for cutting rope and whatnot.
So no.
I mean, what you wanna step outside? Is that what I'm hearing?
No. You threatened me. I was curious if you were any good with it.
Would I have been noticing this interaction between these two?
Well, would Stock have stuck around and watched Xanalor try to win some money?
He would have.
Okay, then yeah, you probably saw the whole thing.
Okay, with the step outside comment, I'm gonna stand up and get behind Xanalor and just stand there.
What, now you got your crony here to make me look small? Man, fuck you. Get out of here.
All right, TK Baja, you go fuck yourself.
And this is where Stock starts a bar fight. And I'm not even kidding.
You're not? All right.
Nope.
Why don't you go ahead and roll to hit. This is an unarmed attack, I'm assuming.
Hopefully.
I'll give you advantage because this dude isn't actually trying to fight.
Now I have a question. I have this thing known as surprise attack. Once per combat,
Okay.
if you surprise a creature with a hit.
No, this is a sucker punch, basically, is why I was giving you advantage.
Well, it says on my first turn in combat, the attack deals an extra 2d6 damage to it.
Okay, yeah, I mean it'll be the 2d6 then on top of the d4 for the punch.
You're going to kill this man.
That is going to be a 16 to hit.
That'll hit him.
Okay, so I deal 5 damage on an unarmed strike plus 2d6.
Okay.
So that is an extra 5, so 10 total.
Okay, real quick, let me try to find what the stat block on a commoner is for their hit points.
And if he's not down, I'm going to definitely use an action surge to punch him again.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he's down. He's out. He is asleep.
Okay. I leave it at that and just start walking out the bar.
You see, as you just lay this dude, he wasn't even standing up. He's like sitting back in his chair, like trying to be all dismissive, and you just like reach over there with your giant arms and just
Come across the table without even moving because of that freaking reach I have.
I look around. Did anyone see this?
Yeah, actually, so as the back legs of his dude's chair break and he hits the ground, you see like 5 or 6 other mildly drunk looking farmer types stand up and start heading over your direction.
I walk over and cast Spare the Dying on him. And then I'm gonna cast Expeditious Retreat and run.
Okay. Stock, you didn't really see it happen. Last time you saw Xanalor, he was there making sure this dude wasn't dead, and all of a sudden you walk out the front door and he's already in the street just like trotting down towards the horseshoe.
Then I'm gonna, as I'm running, cast a message at Stock. Say, you might want to leave.
I'm just walking down the street.
All right. Nevis, what would you have been doing this whole time? What did you do after you retired from scatter shields permanently?
Well, I would have sat there just to watch the ongoings.
Okay.
And would have been at the ready, of course, when Stock went to battle.
Yeah.
And so I basically, as he was standing there wondering where the hell Xanalor went, I would have been doing the same thing, and would have beat feet just as quickly if that's what we were going to be doing.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you guys kind of fast walk out of out of the gambling golem. You see, as you kind of look back over your shoulder, the three of you see a couple of those farmers who's got up, standing in the doorway, just watching you leave. And one of them shouts out from the back, "That's right, you get out of here!" And
I'm going to take this opportunity to invent flipping the bird and
Yep.
talking.
I'm just gonna do the double bird flip over the shoulder, mirroring Nevis.
you see Nevis throw up the middle finger, and you're like, I like that. I don't know what that
Oh
means.
no! This is the old world English bird where it's the two fingers.
Oh, the
Jog on.
That's right. I'm going to take your archer's fingers from you.
Okay. But yeah, so you guys make your way back. Nevis, you kind of wind up falling into the lead a little bit, and Stock and Xanalor, you guys kind of fall in line and follow him back to the Gilded Horseshoe, and the guy behind the counter, he says, are you the other two gentlemen who the rooms are reserved for? I still need payment.
They're not three. Oh wait, he was here before.
I was planning on spending the night actually out in some trees if they were available.
How many trees are you looking for?
Sorry, the trees are rented out.
Just like a small grove or something, just enough to conceal.
Okay. Yeah, there's you remember seeing kind of just outside of town, one of the cattle farms had a couple old looking tall trees on a hill in the pasture.
That's all I wanted.
Are you so Xanalor, you're staying at the inn? Yeah. Okay. So
Those
again, this
costs.
could be a silver for the donkey and the room, as well as food and drink.
Okay.
Stock, are you doing something with your donkey? Are you eating at all before heading over there?
Yeah, I'll grab a bite to eat and board the donkey. That's about it.
Okay, that's gonna be we'll call that 6 copper for a drink, for food, and then for the cost of boarding the donkey.
Okay. I'll just give him a silver for it.
Okay. He's are you sure you don't want the room?
Flip him the bird and walk out the door.
What? All right. So, is there anything that you guys want to do before retiring to your rooms / trees for the evening?
I think I'm good for the moment.
Okay.
Nope.
In my notebook, I write down the accounts of 5 different individuals that I have in my network.
Okay.
However, they're not the 5 individuals in the party, including Shadowspawn is making up 5 entirely false people.
Okay.
So that if someone comes to my book and means to do harm, they're looking for people who aren't in the group.
Okay.
Hey guys.
All right.
I just defeated the BBEG.
Trees?
Big bad evil guy. He's done now.
All right. So you guys, you spend the night in Long Saddle. You wake up in the morning as the rooster crows, being in a farming town. Yeah, and it's actually a pretty nice looking day outside. You're Stock. You wake up in the trees there, and you notice that no one's come with torches and pitchforks to try to run you out of town. You see, as you wake up, you look across the pasture, and you see someone. He's got like bandages across his nose, tending to the cattle. You just kind of like head back into town. Like, yeah, I'm not going to deal with that guy.
There's a very smug grin underneath the mask.
All right. Okay. So you guys head out on the road for the evening, or for the day. I mean.
I'd want to pursue that enchanter because, well, could be a ally to the college and could give us a bolster to what's coming.
Well, part of the problem with that is you guys don't actually know where he is.
And if it's west of Silvermoon, that would be past Desert.
Yeah,
Unless it is Desert.
could be. Either way, I'm interested in what we can learn before we leave about that.
From in Long Saddle?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
That is 7. So probably not a whole lot. Yep, there's a enchanter out there, I'm guessing.
I mean, from what you can gather from the people in town, I mean, it's not even for sure that he exists. It's really a sort of a legend that this woman told you about.
Do they have a legend? Like, do they call him something, or is he just kind of like the magic guy?
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Investigation. 11.
From what you can gather, you're not sure.
Okay.
That no one's said a name, at least so far.
Yeah.
All right, then departing, I guess, is the best course of action.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, as you guys are on the road out of town, you're pretty good way through your travels. Feeling pretty refreshed. You know, having been able to sleep in a bed, get some like fresh food in you, not stuff out of your kits for rations and whatnot. And you guys actually make it to the Lurkwood and start to diverge from the path. And as you guys are kind of trotting along there through the Mirkwood, you actually you hear a couple more of those sounds of parchment tearing, and trotting out from the woods are you hear the tearing sound, and then you hear that sound that the Langoliers made, that, and you see one of them run out of the woods ahead of you on the path, and then you see behind it comes out one of the wolf type creatures, and another one of the Langoliers comes out behind it. So let's go ahead and let's roll initiative as the dog, the wolf, comes out, and it looks at you and it goes.
I cast Ricola.
All right.
Just out of curiosity, why wouldn't we have made for a due east if we're heading to Desert?
Because of the rivers and the topography there, probably would have been too.
It's easier to go south and downstream than north and upstream.
It would have been too soggy. Basically, it would have taken you a long time to make it to Desert through the moors that way. Plus, you stand the chance of getting lost then.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Because it's not like the Quad Cities, which is the major east-west portion of the Mississippi River. And all my friends who are from Minneapolis, St. Paul get lost here all the time because they follow the river and wind up west.
I just would have figured that we would have made for something like Yartar or Nesemi, and then
Well, you are working your way towards Nesme. It's just
Sure.
there's no route there.
Hmm.
And you will find out why when you arrive in Nesme.
Uh-oh.
Tiamat.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
It's Strahd riding Tiamat.
bleh.
But yeah, times 5.
Let me do that. There we go. Okay. Put these here really quick. All right. 20 to 25. All right. 15 to 20.
Sorry, dirty
Oh.
20.
Dirty 20. Okay.
16
16. All right. What's your initiative modifier?
+2.
+2. Okay. You guys need to come up with a good name for the dog thing. I like Langoliers for the
That's
kidney
great.
bean monsters.
Yeah.
Cujo.
All right. I need 10 to 15.
12.
Fluffy. Fluffy.
12.
Yes, I heard you. Thank you. What is your initiative modifier?
+3.
+3. Okay. Okay. And then Vershad, where'd you end up?
4.
Okay. Did I miss somebody? Stock, where are you?
7.
7. Okay. I was looking. I was like, wait, why is this list one shorter than the other one? It's because I'm dumb. That's why. All right. Nevis, you are up first.
All right, so I take the time to dismount from my donkey,
Yes.
and then I would like to try to hit the first Langolier. That would be the one on the right.
Mhm.
With Sacred Flame.
Okay.
Dex of 14.
Okay. I rolled a 19.
Bummer.
It is a bummer. I'm sorry. All right.
Does
that-
does dismounting take any of my movement?
We'll say
No,
that
it
it
doesn't matter. I just want to step forward
Okay.
the 5 feet. So that's
Yeah,
I'm done.
that's fine. At most, it would probably be half movement, like kind of like getting up from being prone. This is getting down from being mounted.
Yeah, no, I just want to move right there. That's
Okay.
good.
All right, Xanalor, you're up.
Okay. I will.
Borax, you'll be on deck as the next player character.
Oops. I'm just going to slide over here and Eldritch Blast the dude in the middle.
Okay.
And that is a 15 to hit.
15 will hit.
Nice. 9 force damage.
Okay. All right. The Langoliers are up. All right. One is going to make an attack at Nevis, and one's going to make an attack at Stock. Yeah. Okay. So first against Nevis, that's going to be a 6 to hit, so that's going to miss. Against Stock, that will be a 7. That will also miss. All right. So that's it for the Langoliers. Borax, you're up. Stock, you're the next player character on deck.
I actually have to be going.
Oh, okay.
But I hope you guys do not die. I will see you next week.
Yeah.
All right, man. Take it easy.
All right. See you, man.
Yeah,
Thanks for
take care.
playing.
Yep, thank you.
See ya.
Okay. Let me double check something really quick, guys. I don't want this to be too hard if I take somebody out. No, you guys should still be okay.
It's gonna be like the wolves again.
No. Well, hopefully not. All right. So with that, then actually, the wolf creature is up. So that's gonna go. It's actually gonna dash towards Xandalore.
Uh-oh.
Actually, it doesn't even need to dash. It just runs right up to you, and it's going to make an attack against you, Xandalore. It's going to try to bite you twice.
Once is enough.
First one is going to be a 8 to hit, so that's going to miss. The second one is going to be a 15.
So that would relate to the question I was in the middle of typing to you already.
Yes.
If I'm mage armored up, I have a 15, which I guess it still hits.
Yeah, I will say I think that should be something that you like mention.
Okay. That's fair.
Being as a character that did that, yeah, I cast mage armor literally every single day. So, and since it doesn't cost you a spell slot, I know that you're doing it.
Okay.
But yeah, so it does still hit.
Yeah.
So you're going to take 7 piercing damage.
Okay.
And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Money, money, money. That's a good roll. 21.
21. All right, very good. You resist the effect that you saw, that sort of poison ichor effect that was done to Shadow Spawn. So now, Stock, you're up. Vershad, you're on deck.
Alrighty. I'm gonna go after the kidney bean directly in front of me. To the
Okay.
left. That is a 24 to hit.
That will hit.
So that is a total of some number, 16 slashing damage.
16. Okay. Wow, that kidney bean looks rough.
And no, hold off.
Okay.
Yep, I'm good.
Okay. Okay. Vershad, you're up.
All right.
Nevis, you're on deck.
I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Shillelagh.
Okay.
And then which one was the one on that stock attack? Was it this one right here?
Correct.
All right. Then I'm going to dismount from Charlie.
Okay.
Advance forward and then make a non-lethal attack at that black-eyed pea.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to hit with your shillelagh.
Shog.
That's a 4.
A 4 will miss.
Well done.
Wait, so when you attack with Shillelagh, don't you get to add your spell attack modifier, or is that just on the attack roll or the damage roll?
I think it's just on the damage roll.
I thought it was
both. Spell casting ability instead. So that would instead be an 8.
An 8? Okay. An 8 will not hit, but it's much better. Nevis, you're up.
All right, so I am going to use my Blessing of the Forge.
Okay.
On my mace. And then try to melee the Langolier in front of me.
Okay.
That is a 22 to hit.
22 will hit.
Gosh, I really wish I would have had Savage Attacker at that point in time. That's only going to be 3 bludgeoning damage.
Okay. And that's to the Langolier in front of you, correct?
No, 3. That's 4. I'm sorry. Yeah, 4 to the one in front of me. Yes.
Okay. All right. Xandalore, you're up. Stock, you'll be the next player character.
Okay. I am going to slap him. Not slap him. I'm going to stab him with a dagger.
Okay.
Hopefully. Not very well. 6.
A 6 will miss.
And then as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Expeditious Retreat.
Okay. Can
And then-
you read that spell effect for me real quick? If you have it up?
It's a concentration spell up to 10 minutes. I can use dash as a bonus action
Okay.
until it ends. But that was my bonus action, so I can't do it this turn.
Right. Okay. Okay. All right. So that brings us to the Langoliers. This one's
Ooh.
going to.
Can I, when you cast the spell and then as a bonus action on each of your turns?
Oh, okay. So then, yeah, you would be able to use it.
So I would like to try to run this way.
Okay.
So-
And you said it gives you the dash action?
Yeah. So I get 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Okay. It's going to make an attack of opportunity against you. That's what it's going to miss.
25, 30. Okay, cool. So I'm there now.
All right. Cool. All right. So the Langoliers are going to make their attacks. First one is going to attack at Nevis. That's going to be a 15 to hit.
Nope.
Nope. All right. The second one is going to either attack Stock or Vendi, and it's going to be Stock. Or sorry, no, that's Vendi. This is going to make an attack against you. That's a dirty 20 to hit.
Hits so hard.
Sorry, actually, a 19.
Still hits.
Okay, so that's going to be 5 piercing damage, and it's attached to you. So let's see how we're gonna. Nah, we won't worry about it. So it's attached to you, basically. So that brings us to the dog thing. He's going to. He's going to chase after you, Xandler.
Ah! Oh, he's fast.
That was with a dash, so he actually
Oh.
can't attack.
Okay.
So Stock, you're up. Vershad, you're on deck.
Okay, I'm gonna try and go after the same one, and seeing that Vershad seems to want to capture one of these things, I'm not gonna try and kill it, but knock it unconscious.
Okay.
That is a 25 to hit.
That will hit.
That is 14 slashing damage.
Okay. You knock it unconscious. It does stay attached to Vershad, though, you see.
Okay.
It seems like knocking it unconscious, like it wasn't, it didn't have the same like killing blow effect of ripping it off. It's still hanging on there. Vershad, you are up.
I'm gonna use this shillelagh in order to pry it off of me.
Okay. You don't have to roll for that. You can actually just use an action to detach the damn thing.
Well, I just rolled a natural 20 for it. So I did it very expertly.
You did. As a matter of fact, you fling it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Now I feel justified in casting a spell. And that's my turn.
Okay. Nevis, you're up.
All right, I'm going to once again try to melee the one in front of me.
Mhm.
That is a 22 to hit again.
That will hit.
Oh, full damage this time. 10 bludgeoning.
Nice. That's pretty good. That's one gnarly looking kidney bean.
All right, that'll end my turn.
All right. Xanalor, you're up.
I'm going to stab him.
Stab away.
13 to hit.
A 13 will hit.
Yay. Come on, D4. Uh, 4 piercing damage.
Okay.
And then I'm going to run.
Okay.
40, 45, 50, 55, 60.
Okay. All right. That brings us to the Langoliers. It's going to try to make one last ditch effort attack at you, Nevis. That's going to be a 14 to hit, which misses. The wolf looking thing is going to 5, 10.
Come get me.
So it catches up to you, but it did have to dash again to get there. So Stock, you're up.
Okay. Let's go after. Oh, I want to see something here. Oh, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So if I move there, I'll take an opportunity attack,
Okay.
which I'm okay with.
It's a 17 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay. So you're going to take 10 piercing damage, and actually, so Nevis and Vendi, you guys will have opportunity attacks against it as it attaches itself to Stock and gets ripped out of your guys' ranges. So if either one of you want to use your reaction to make an opportunity attack, you may do that.
I think they are both AFK currently.
No, I'm
Vendi,
here.
Nevis.
Nope. I will choose to not make an opportunity attack.
Okay. Nevis, how about you?
I'm here. What?
The Langolier that was in front of you attacked Stock as an opportunity attack and succeeded in hitting, so it attached itself to him and got pulled out of your range. So you actually get an opportunity attack on it should you choose to use your reaction to do that.
Of course. Why not? That is going to be a 17 to hit
Okay, that will hit.
for 7 more bludgeoning.
Okay, so actually, as it attaches itself to Stock and Stock keeps moving, it gets hit with the mace by Nevis and actually just like limply rolls off of across the ground as it falls off to Stock dead. Stock, it's still your turn. Now you have your action.
I'm going to take a swing at the devil dog.
Okay,
That is a 13 to hit.
that will hit.
Will?
Yes.
Okay. That is a total of 10 slashing damage.
Okay. All right. Vershad, you're up now.
All right. Given the amount of danger that's close by to the donkeys, I'm going to sit here, come this way, and I'm going to inspect to make sure that this kidney bean is not dangerous.
Okay. Go ahead and why don't you roll an investigation check? I'll give you investigation or medicine.
I'm going to take medicine.
Okay.
Which is great because that makes that a 22, 16 plus 6.
Nice. Okay. It is. It looks super anesthetized.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm going to hold my attack to smack that kidney bean across the top of the head if he wakes up.
Okay. All right. So Nevis, you're up.
All right, so I want to move here.
Okay.
And then attempt to cast Sacred Flame
Okay.
on the fluffy creature.
Okay.
So it's a dex of 14, I believe. Yes.
All right. Let's see what we do. Nope. That's a 2.
Oh, good lord. That's 2 flame damage? Fire damage. Yeah, 2 fire damage.
I think Sacred Flame is radiant.
Is it? Yeah, it is. You're
I
right.
think
Yeah, 2 radiant damage, and let's see. Moved. I guess I'll use the rest of my movement to go there. That'll end my turn.
Okay. All right. Xanilor.
I'm going to cast Cause Fear on
Okay.
the wolf chasing me.
Mhm.
So that is a Wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Does a 16 pass?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna run.
You notice as you cast it that it seems like this creature has some sort of air of, I don't want to say fearlessness. It's not like it's immune to fear, but it seems like it's pretty bold.
I'm gonna go back 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 50, and I assume that's an opportunity attack.
Yes, it is. That's going to be a 18 to hit.
Oh, that'll hit.
Okay, so that's going to be a Constitution saving throw from you, while you take 6 piercing damage.
6 piercing. Do I still get to run the whole way?
Yes.
Or did he stop me? Okay. Oh God, I rolled a 1.
Roll a 1. Okay.
So
You
3.
are you're not poisoned, which
Good.
means you have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks. And I need you to roll a concentration check. So that's another Constitution saving throw, basically, to maintain concentration on expeditious retreat.
6. It's Constitution. Is the modifier?
Yeah.
Yeah, 6.
6. Okay. Yeah. So you wind up losing your focus on expeditious retreat.
Okay.
So you'll actually need to move back because that would have happened because of the attack.
Yep. So I'm there.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Like leaders are dead. All right. The dog is going to run here. Yeah, it's going to continue after you. So it's going to make an attack. First one misses. Second one is a 14.
If I'm mage armored, I'm safe. If I'm not, I'm not.
You are.
Okay.
So you're safe. Stock, you're up. Rashad, you're on deck.
And then it's going to be a glaive attack at him.
Okay.
Works better if I get it in the box. That is a 19 to hit.
Yes.
Total of 12 slashing damage.
Nice. Okay. Anything else?
I'm assuming we're probably going to be taking, in some sense, a short rest after this. So just because I'm going to use my action surge and try again.
Okay.
That is a 24 to hit.
That will hit.
And that is 15 slashing damage.
Okay. All right. Rashad, you're up. Looks like the kidney bean isn't moving.
I'm going to poke it to make sure it's not moving, then ready to attack in case.
You're going to poke it to make sure it isn't, and then ready an attack in case it is?
Yep.
Okay. Do you accidentally attack it when you see it roll because you poked it?
My dexterity is +2, so I'm going to assume no.
Okay. Okay, so you push it, it rolls a little bit. You're like, oh, was that something? And then it wasn't, but you're ready to whack the damn thing just in case. Nevis, you're up.
Has the fluffy creature been hit yet?
Yes. You've seen Stock stab it a few times, and you think you heard an Eldritch Blast go off and hit it, but you're not sure.
All right, then I would like to cast Toll the Dead.
Okay, that's a Constitution saving throw, if I'm not mistaken.
Wisdom of 14.
Wisdom, okay. That's an 8, so that fails.
All right, and since he's taking damage, I get to roll a 12, of which he gets 8.
Okay.
Product.
He's looking a little worse for wear. Looking like he's feeling it. Xanalor, you're up.
I am running out of options, so I am going to. I'm just going to try to Eldritch Blast him, even though it's ranged, so I am at disadvantage.
Yes.
I'm going to use my inspiration.
Okay.
I was going to move if I flank the Fluffy with Xanalor. Does he get an advantage on anything?
He would. So he has disadvantage on attack rolls because of being poisoned. So your advantage would cancel that out. So it would be a straight roll.
Even with the ranged attack from
melee?
Okay.
Basically, if something gives you advantage and then something else gives you advantage, you still only have advantage. So basically, like you have advantage, you have disadvantage for various reasons. They're canceled out.
It's like
so straight roll.
Penalty flags in football.
Right.
Straight roll is good. That's a 20 to hit.
22 hits.
10 force damage.
All right. All right. The thing is up. It's going to kind of turn a little bit. And it's going to make an attack each at Xanalor and Nevis. The attack against Xanalor is a 17. The attack
That'll
against Nevis is a 8. So it's going to miss. All right. So that is going to be 8 piercing damage, Xanalor.
I'm hurting.
Yes. Stock, you're up.
Alrighty, I'm gonna go swinging at it again.
Okay.
I rolled a natural 1.
All right. For the third time in this trip, or not in this trip, but in this adventure, you have crapped on your glaive.
Yeah,
Wonder if he's-
story of my life.
Is he starting to wonder about Nevis's abilities?
Yeah, starting to question it a
Oh,
little bit.
hey now.
I'm looking the other direction. I don't down't you, buddy.
I think Stock, you're just particularly good at stabbing rocks instead of creatures.
Yeah, I should have thought about this before I made the attack, so I'm not gonna do it. I
Okay,
have my fighting spirit that gives me advantage if I want to do it.
Oh yeah,
later.
you would have had to call that
Yeah.
out beforehand. Okay, Vershad, you're up. Still on kidney bean duty?
Same as last time.
Okay. All right, Nevis.
All right. I guess since I'm within melee range, I will just attempt to melee with
Okay.
the
You do
blessing
have
of the
advantage.
in my. Oh, okay. And a good thing too, it's going to be dirty 20
That will hit.
for 6 bludgeoning.
All right. How do you want to do this?
Well, I guess I noticed the creature trying to split its attacks against Xanalor and myself.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna wait till it's slightly distracted, and then I'm gonna swing at it with my mace like I'm going for Waveland Avenue.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So now combat has ended, you guys, and Xanalor is looking pretty beat up. And you guys see that Vershad basically has pinned down the unconscious bean,
So
Langolier.
I want to get your thought on this. Would I be able to empty out my mess kit and jam the kidney bean into the mess kit and close it?
Is your mess kit big enough?
That's what
Yeah,
I'm wondering.
I don't think it would be big enough. So basically, you would have to empty out your entire backpack. These things they're roughly knee height.
Okay.
Um,
Well,
I'm
in
gonna,
that
like,
case, I have another idea.
I want to limp over here. Does it have like arms?
It does have like vestigial arms on it. It's mostly
Vestigial.
legs and a mouth.
But does it? Okay. How many legs?
2. It's bipedal with vestigial arms on its like what you assume based on the curvature of it is its chest. It's hard to tell because they like barely have eyes and it's mostly just mouth on a 3-foot tall bean.
So I have manacles.
Okay.
So I'm gonna shackle up its legs.
Okay. I will say I think that the manacles might be too big.
Okay. Well, I tried that. Anyone have ideas? What are we trying to do with this?
I just wanted to sit there and get a really detailed look at it, see if there's some way we can diagnose the magic's happening and see if we can interact it up.
I assume you know a good amount about animals. Do you notice anything?
I mean, DM, do I notice anything?
In regards to what specifically?
Any sort of magics that brought this creature into existence? Anything we could do to sit there and say, "Be gone, foul demon"?
Okay. Go ahead and I would say make an Arcana check if you don't have something like a detect magic kind of spell or something like that.
11, 9 plus 2.
Okay. So it looks like it, as best you can tell, it does not appear that there is any sort of arcane residue of sorts on this creature. You're not sure if that means that it's not an arcane method by which it's appearing, or if the magic doesn't leave any sort of trace that you can pick up.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to try to short rest. The reason I'm asking is if Xanalor wants to try and get some points back from his hit dice, depending on how many, I can still cast Cure Wounds for him, if you would like.
Do we have time for a short rest?
Well, we should probably take care of this first.
I'm going to take a short rest.
The reason I'm asking is because I got something I need to take care of, so I'll be gone for a few minutes, and I didn't want to leave everyone hanging.
Okay.
If Vendy's going to take care of this beam thing further, then we can wait. That'd be fine. Otherwise, I would just like to know.
Okay. Do you need to take a quick break?
Yeah, maybe a quick break would work real well here.
Okay.
Yeah.
5 minutes, 10 minutes.
No more than 10. Probably
Okay.
5 is enough.
Okay. All right. Do you guys want to take a quick 10-minute break?
Yeah, we can take a tenor.
Okay.
I'm rolling all 3 of my hit dice.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I'm basically, the way we're going to say this is that Xanalor, you're taking the short rest while everyone figures out what else it is that they're doing.
Sounds good.
Hmm. I'm wondering if we could make something like a bit for this unconscious one and drag it around with us.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure this thing's gonna be angry no matter what we do, so we might as well just put it out of its existence.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause even if we were able to craft some sort of a muzzle for it or something, who knows if it could
Yeah.
somehow weasel out of it and we have to kill it anyway.
New pet?
Thinking about it just to throw Corey a curveball.
Between Charlie and the Black Eyed Peas, I'd rather take.
Does anyone have rope?
Yep. And torches. So I was thinking of a bit or a muzzle type thing. I mean, we do have a Forge Master with us.
Make a nice muzzle.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And drag it around with us and use it for nefarious purposes.
Well, we can certainly try.
I mean, if you had other people walking around with a kidney bean, a 3-foot tall kidney bean with vestigial arms that had just a mouth on the end of it that smelled like death, that would definitely deter me from fucking with that individual.
Yeah.
Because with having 10 torches, I figure we could use that as, essentially a couple of them, bind them together and use it as something to prevent it from closing its mouth on anything. And then make a little strap deal around its vestigial arms section and cinch it real tight and tie a rope to it and drag the damn thing around.
I have returned to facilitate gameplay.
Alrighty.
All right, do we have everybody?
I do believe.
I'm here, Mike's here, Dan's here.
All right, perfect. All right,
I don't know, did I hear Jay? I don't know if I heard Jay.
I see him there.
Yep, I'm here.
Okay,
I'm just getting
so
really low on energy. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
All good.
okay,
I'm
so
exhausted, yeah.
Xanalor is taking his short rest. He's regaining his spell slots and doing his hit dice. Vershad, you've been investigating the kidney bean monster. Stock, you see both your broken glaive and you see Vershad doing some investigatory work on one of the Langoliers. What is it that you want to be doing right now?
I'm gonna go to Nevis about the glaive and also inquire how he feels about making some kind of a harness for this thing real fast and dragging it around with us.
Well, it should take me no more than an hour to repair the glaive. So if we're going to try to fashion some sort of a restraint for this Langolier, we should have time to do that as well.
Oh,
Of course, the
go to
DM's
Vershad
blessing.
also and be like, Vershad, you want to bring this thing with us or murder it?
I do not, under any circumstance, want to bring this aberration across our plane any more than it's already been.
All right, great sword and stab it.
Okay, go ahead and roll an attack with advantage.
Because fuck it. That's a 16.
Okay, yeah, that hits.
That is 10 slashing.
Yep, that'll do it.
Okie dokie. Disregard, Nevis. It's taken care of.
I don't hear you currently because I'm still dinging out the broken part of your glaive.
All right, yeah. So
I will give you a gold piece for the work again.
go ahead and mark your channel divinity as being used for this long rest, and yeah. So at the end of the hour, anyone who wants to, so anyone other than Nevis who would like to do any short rest activities such as hit dice or anything like that, may do so. At the end of the hour, you guys are good to go. Xanalor, you notice that even after your short rest, the cloth wraps that you've used to cover up the wound from the hellhound looking thing, you see that they're already starting to become soaked with the reddish brown sort of ichor that's seeping from your wound.
Is this normal? I just kind of hold up the gross rag.
No.
I would have to say normal for someone who has been assaulted by one of these creatures. Yeah, we saw that with Shadow Spawn, and we'll have to take care of that for you as well.
We just can't catch a break with these things, can we?
Does it just feel or seem to me that it's like this is just gonna hurt me?
Can you be a little bit more specific?
Like, is it like I feel poisoned and terrible, or does it feel like
You feel ill. You feel you will still have like the poisoned condition until this gets taken care of. And you kind of feel like your energy in a way being sapped. Like you feel sick. You really like you feel like actually sick.
Okay.
All right, so I want to put Vapo Rub on his chest while singing Soft Kitty.
Is that how Nevis casts Lesser Restoration?
No,
we'll make that canon right now.
Soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur.
I'm like wide-eyed staring at him like, what are you doing?
At first, Xanalor, you're like, what in the actual fuck? But then you start to feel like the magics of it, and like you start to feel the radiant energy going into you. And it's warm, it's fuzzy, and you're like, this is actually kind of nice. So yeah, we'll go ahead and mark off that second level spell slot. Nevis and Xanalor, you're no longer you no longer have this disease. Okay. So with that being said, are you guys? Is there any other things you want to do before saddling back up and continuing down the path?
Well, I think if Vendy's got his notes and his investigation completed, that we can probably just move on.
Okay.
I want to go to the wolf thing
Uh-huh.
and see if it has like a venom thing.
Venom sac.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and let's go ahead and have you make a investigation or nature check.
I don't think I'm good at either. And I'm not good at rolling for it. You said investigation or nature? Yeah, they're both +0, and I rolled a 2. So
okay. Not that you can find.
Cool.
All right. So as you guys continue along, you guys will get to about there before the end of the day. The ground is starting to get a little softer as you're getting towards the river delta there. Sort of a little bit more verdant. the silt deposits from the river, as those kind of like leach into the soil, the nutrients and all that stuff. Things grow pretty well in the surrounding area. You guys go ahead and get your camp set up for the evening. I'm assuming we're keeping the same watch since it's the four of you.
Yeah. If the ground is soft at all around our campsite, I'll cast Mold Earth
Okay.
in order to sit there and pack in the area so nothing sinks.
Okay. Sure. Okay. So, Vershad, why don't you go ahead and make your perception check for the night's watch?
My perception check is a 14, 10 plus.
14. Okay. All right. So it seems like everything has kind of calmed down a bit after the craziness of the day. It's after being in a city or in a town again for a period of time. You're not sure if you miss the lively city life more or if you missed the quiet more. Either way, it's kind of nice. But your shift comes and goes without any issues. Nevis, it's your watch, so go ahead and make your perception check.
15.
15. Okay. You sit there and you take your watch. The evening continues to pass by without much problem. You start to think over in your head, like you've fixed this glaive a few times, so you're starting to kind of like mull over some ideas and hope that by like kind of thinking on it long enough, that you'll either come up with something or Hephaestus will help you in a way to, like, I don't know, maybe reinforce the damn thing. Who knows? But so your watch comes and goes, and Stock, your watch comes up. Go ahead and make your perception check for me.
I got an 8.
An 8. Okay. Another one of those distracted evenings for you. You're reflecting on the kind of like going over the film in your head as it pertains to the fight this afternoon, and seeing if there's anything that you need to add to your notes. So you just kind of spend some time doing that, and before you know it, like you find yourself getting tired again, which means that it's like the end of your watch, and so you wake up Xanalor. Xanalor, go ahead and make your perception check.
Good roll. 19.
19.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry, 17.
17.
I don't have a...
Right.
Yeah.
Anything you're doing this evening? Just kind of journaling?
Yeah, and I'm going to ask a lot to the comment that I was given before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where? Seriously, where? What do I do if I see that?
Infuriatingly, there's no response.
Okay.
So your watch comes and goes without issue. You're probably able to. You're like holding your journal up in front of you, like looking around, looking back down at the journal, just like hoping for answers and making sure that nothing comes out at you guys. But it seems like only the latter will come to be true as day breaks and the sounds of your party slowly stirring come to a head, and then you wake up and you guys get your things ready for the day, eat your breakfast, pack up the donkeys.
Alrighty.
Yeah. All right. As the day breaks, you start to hear some thunder and kind of coming in down the mountains that you can see off to the west, or off to the east, sorry, coming down over the mountains. You see a rainstorm coming in, and within an hour or two of being on the road, it's raining pretty good. It's not really affecting your movement much more than the surrounding area does, but basically by the end of the day, you guys find yourselves in Nesme. Now, on your way to Nesme, on your way on this trip, you saw all these places on the map, and you assumed that Nesme was probably going to be a place sort of like Long Saddle, where it was at least inhabited. There was some sort of trade going on, anything like that. But no. You arrive in Nesme as the evening starts to take grip over the day, and you come to an abandoned, ruined village. Buildings are in shambles or crumbled. The back quarter of the town seems to slowly be sliding back into the moor. Anybody who wants to go ahead and make a history check for me.
I've never been here.
Is 11.
It was just
Unfortunately, mine was only a 9.
Okay. Vershad, are you rolling?
No.
Okay. All right. As you guys look around, you see the signs of battle having happened around here. You see some artifacts from orcs. You see some artifacts that look to be drow-like in their construction. And you see some like claw marks belonging to a large creature, potentially a dragon. But outside of that, you guys can't really tell what happened here. It does seem, based on the items you see sort of scattered about, that it was quite some time ago when this happened.
like centuries, kind of a long time ago.
Yeah, like
Okay.
before the death curse,
Mhm.
and before the rise of the cult of the dragon.
Mhm.
Before any of those things happened.
Okay.
It might have even been before the cataclysm that
Mhm.
kind of fractured Neverwinter hundreds of years ago.
Well, I think we should still try and find the best building to take cover in for both ourselves and the animals, and try and find some sort of a bed down for the night.
Sure. Go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
God damn 6 again. It's only a 7.
Okay. It takes you a little while. You kind of like wander into a couple buildings and you go, guys, I think we've got it. And you walk in and like the floor falls through on the building and like underneath is just muddy muck from the moors. But eventually you do kind of find one that actually is strong enough to hold up. It's got a couple walls to, block the wind and perhaps, hide your fire from anybody who might be watching. But you guys do get a camp set up. So let's go ahead and
If there is a wood floor here, I want to kind of cut around it so that the fire stays contained in a circle,
okay.
so that it doesn't spread and kill us all.
I think given the location of Nesme in regards to the moors and how long ago the buildings were created, I think most of the flooring you're seeing is stonework.
Okay.
So that's not too big of a problem.
All right.
All right, so let's go ahead and I'm assuming we're keeping the same watches again.
Makes it easy.
Sure.
All right. So Vendi, go ahead and roll perception check for me.
21, 23, 19 plus
23.
4.
All right, nice. Okay.
I noticed everything.
Do you think Vendi's ever been to like a swamp type area before?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, you're kind of listening. You're hearing not so much the same sounds that you've been hearing. Obviously, you've been in mountains. You've been in plains. You've been in and around large forested areas, and you've heard the associated creatures there. This is much more aquatic life. You hear bullfrogs and things like that. You're hearing things kind of move and plop in the evermoors themselves, sort of because the back quarter of the town, as I said, is kind of slowly sliding back into the moor. But ultimately, nothing seems to be drawn to the fire, and you don't catch a glimpse of or hear anything seeming to try to come near your camp. So Nevis, go ahead and make your perception check for me.
Wow. So, okay, based on that roll, I think I'm going to be a little less like Vendy and probably a little more like Vern from Stand By Me, where I'm jumping at every sound because I only got a 7.
Okay. Yeah, you're you're not used to the sounds. So yeah, you're a little jumpy. And you're having a hard time sort of in that like, well, you're a human. Sort of can't see super well at night. When you're on watch, you're really hoping to triangulate sources of sounds and things like that, and see things as they kind of enter the firelight. Man, you cannot get a grip on figuring out where these sounds are coming from. But there seems like they're everywhere, but nothing has come into your camp at the very least. So let's go ahead and have Stock, go ahead and make your perception check.
That is. I keep forgetting this number, and I'm using it so much, which is kind of dumb. Total of 18.
18. Okay. Given where you kind of came from, Stock, have you been near the Evermoors before?
Good question. I would have figured at least at some point or another over the number of years we've ventured kind of near them.
Okay. Yeah, that works. So yeah, you're a little less. You're a little more accustomed to these sounds. You haven't heard them in quite a while, but nonetheless, it seems like although there is quite a bit of nocturnal life around you, nothing is attempting to get near the fire. So you have another pretty quiet watch. Xanor, go ahead and make your perception check for me.
7.
7. Okay. I'm assuming you're still kind of like asking questions in your journal and stuff.
I'm caught up on what he told me.
Yeah. You're still like you're so stuck on that last message you got and trying to figure out what it means and getting answers, and you're not getting them. That you're really taken by surprise when the sun starts to come up and the fire has already died. You're like, whoa, when did that happen? But nonetheless, the sun does come up. It doesn't seem to be quite as bright and cheery as when you're on the plains, and it gets even more so as you guys pack up and press onwards towards the Zoot. The hang on a minute, Jay. We're gonna get to Dazut, and then we'll kind of figure out what we want to do from there. Does that work?
Good, thank you. Yeah.
All right. So you press forward through the swamp. It's much slower going at this point. The ground getting wetter and wetter as you go, to the point where it starts to get really it basically it turns from stone outside of like around Nesme to dirt, and then as you continue forward, it goes from dirt to mud. You continue forward and you start to see a clearing, and I'm going to transfer us on pages here. Oh, I should probably go to that page too myself. Might be helpful. Okay, so you guys, I'm gonna copy over from another page. You guys arrive in a clearing, and as you move forward towards the clearing, you notice the village, and the village is interesting because it is a village entirely of lizard folk. So you see that there's a stone wall around the village. The village itself has been the ground has been manipulated in such a way where their swamp-like crops can still be cultivated outside of the walls of the village, but inside the village it looks as though stone and wood have been utilized in a manner to make it so that you can get around without expending all of the extra energy that's needed to be expended walking through the mud. So you see a modest-sized village bustling with lizard folk. There are several tending to fields growing swamp crops, sort of like cranberries and things like that, things that grow in those deep waters. And you see others milling about the huts. You see a group of lizard folk who are near the they're kind of between the fields and the village proper. They appear to be dressed in warriors' attire, and one of them detaches itself from the group here and comes up to you guys. Oops,
I'm moving.
I'm touching too much stuff. There we go.
He's touching us all.
So he comes up to the group, and you see him kind of like turning his head like side to side, kind of like mimicking those bird-like features that reptiles do display. He looks at you and he just like kind of stops and says, "Peace or fight," in a sort of like broken English. You can tell that speaking common is not its strong suit.
Which would you prefer?
Peace.
Good, me too.
Sounds good.
He points toward like into the village towards the largest hut. Seems like almost like a longhouse of sorts. He says, "Go, chief," and then he goes back to his post.
Well, this is different.
As you guys kind of like move into the village, you see there's, like I said, it's a modest sized village. There's not a lot going on. There are quite a few lizard folk. You do see in the back of the village as you're coming in, because like the entrance to the longhouse is kind of like down here. So like as you kind of come around the house, you see a large. It looked like at one time it was probably bronze, but it's been covered in mud and drippings, because you see that they're actually hanging meats and pelts on it to dry, but it looks like a statue of a lizard folk. He appears to be a ranger from what you can tell. He's got a cloak on with his hood up covering sort of like the back half of his head. You see a very ornate bow on his back, looks to be of elven construction. It looks pretty similar actually to statue you've seen in like Neverwinter, and if you've been to Waterdeep, like a lot of the major civilizations have these large statues, and you recall that this is probably that one lizard folk that was in that group of people during the rise of the Cult of the Dragon. Looks pretty familiar.
Woo,
This is like
callbacks.
this is like the Kingdom Hearts campaign, right? Where everybody's got a little story going in and everything.
Seems that way.
This is the Fallout, I suppose, is one way to put it, of playing in a campaign world where we've already done a bunch of cool stuff.
Oh God, we exist.
Well, no complaints, mind you. Just observation.
Fuck, our actions have consequences.
Damn it.
I was told there weren't going to be any of those.
Very well.
All right. So you guys can you walk into this hut, and you see a large, well-fed lizard folk sitting in a stone throne, I guess would be a good word for it. He has a really ornate headdress made of feathers, which almost doesn't seem out of place, given like the sort of dinosaurish nature of lizard folk. Like to have one that's got a headdress of feathers, like almost, he's got feathers. Next to him, you see a young wizard, a young lizard folk warrior. You'll see that I have used Thokjima's token there. He does bear a striking resemblance to the statue outside.
He's Machima then.
How long do lizard folk live? And
Until
I'm asking this out loud.
Until they die. I answer out loud.
A voice rains from the heavens. Long enough to party.
So is this the King of Feathers Junior here, or
That's a
No,
different.
that was a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Actually, Xanilor, go ahead and make a history check for me.
My new goal in life is to be Ernie Pantuzzo from Cheers.
History is 10.
10. Okay. You never met a lizard folk before, but you're pretty sure they have human adjacent lifespans, and it seems pretty close to that.
Okay.
So as you kind of enter, this big lizard folk says to you, he says, "Chief Dezut, who you?"
Chief Xenilor.
He looks you over, sees no headdress, says, "Chief of what?"
Chief Bottle Wash?
Surprised he's not eyeing that eye patch. Going, I want the eye patch.
Chief of the One-Eyed Tribe.
How hunt one eye, no see good.
He
Weak.
hunts the blind. He's the
See,
king.
more
One eye
focused.
weak.
More focused.
One eye rests, other eye sees. Hunt all day.
Party all night.
He actually does like stroke his chin in a very human moment of mannerisms.
Do we all have to talk like Mr. Miyagi, or can we just like?
Why do I just imagine him having like that Jabba the Hutt like quadruple chin, and he's just stroking this huge thing of fat down his neck?
He's quite well fed.
I look around for a grub to throw him.
He kind of waits a little bit. After a while, he asks, "Why come Dezut?"
We're looking for something.
What look for?
That's a good question.
It is a artifact called Brew.
Or Brugo?
It exists in some temple in some swamp up here.
Do you have a temple nearby?
Do you have a swamp?
He looks at you, Rashad. He just kind of like holds his hands out, like turns.
I give him a high five.
He says, when you say, "Do you have a temple in a swamp somewhere?" He goes, "Temple old, temple no use. Why want temple?"
Have you heard of Brew or Brugo?
No.
We are pilgrims. We've come here to sit there and to
Smote it.
pay our respects and to make sure Brew stays in the favor of the good gods and out of the use of the bad.
Temple Semuanya. Temple old lizard folk god. Semuanya no answer prayer. Lizard folk stop worship Semuanya.
Was Simawanya good? Before
Once.
Simawanya got quiet,
Once.
we'll see what we can do to repair that connection to. I can't make promises, but it's a lot more than doing nothing.
Have you seen any more of us? And I gesture to myself as a human. Walking around lately that haven't been here before?
No fleshy in village.
What about on the high moor?
He looks to the other lizard folk. He like kind of turns and looks down at him, and he starts barking some things in a very brutish sounding language. It's kind of like if you've never heard German before and you hear two German people get into an argument. Kind of sounds like that.
You think they're gonna
But it-
kill each other? Yeah.
The young lizard folk, he says, he turns to you and he says, me study common, me tell you more. Chief no speak common good. No fleshy in high more maybe. Lizard folk no venture high more often. Lizard folk farm, lizard folk hunt near desert.
So hold on. Let me make sure I understand this correctly. We're not allowed to go.
Lizard folk once make pilgrimage temple. No here from Semuanya, no more pilgrimage. Path dangerous. No need danger if no answer. Need more survive.
So I make a little bit of a head bow to the little lizard as a way of acknowledging him and thanking him for his information. I turn to the party and I look at them and I say, so I guess we're heading for this temple?
That's our only lead.
Yeah, we could use some direction and maybe some guidance though along the way.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely ask him for direction. I don't know if we're going to get much more out of these guys.
Well, I think all we could do is if we promise them that we can restore their Simwanya.
You say guide? The Chief Dezut speaks up at this point.
Those were words our mouths said.
You take Vask. Vask Jima guide you.
Who is Vask Jima?
He's pointing at the younger lizard folk.
Yeah, the one that's Machima.
Once
By the
again,
way, Mike, you're
I
going to have to
kind
do
of
voice
do a
for him,
little,
too.
I kind of do a half genuflect, kind of a bow to the chief and thank him for any assistance he can give us.
Okay. All right. So at this point, I really have a question for you guys as the party, right? At this point, this is a decent stopping point because it seems like a few of us may need one.
I personally, as a player, not as a player character, need one. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm switching on to new meds, and my energy levels have been chaos.
That's good. My energy level is dead today. I can barely feel my legs.
So I mean, it's up to you, to the remaining three, if you guys want to continue onward, or if you want to wait here and just pick up here next week.
I'd like to keep playing, but I think it's a fair assessment that if everybody is tired, it would make more sense to let everybody recuperate and hopefully have a better week.
Yeah.
So we can have much more enjoyment next session.
Yeah. Guys, I'm really sorry about this.
No need to
I wouldn't
apologize.
want
Jay.
to have to make anyone, feel horrible.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a decent place to stop, I guess.
Okay. All right, so
Thank you.
we'll end there, and so we can cut the stream there. I've got some time to stick around and chat if you guys want to chat.